This is a mysterious person, and he was threatening the entire server by announcing that he wants to destroy it with overpowered items. But to explain this, I need to go back a few days ago when I had just woken up on a Sunday's morning due to people spam pinging me on Discord about the mysterious person who released this video. By watching this video, I understood that he might have opened the server, but how could this even be possible? Because the only person that opened the server is the owner of the server, called Sveti. We all obviously thought that the owner was joking, until, while we were all in a voice call, the mysterious person decided to send us some more video materials. And he started giving us clues about what he's going to do next. His threats were so serious that everyone got scared of him, so I decided to take action. I called the entire server to help each other to beat the person who is almost unkillable. Even though the chances seemed very low for us to succeed in this mission, we still decided to fully commit to this project. One of our first goals after we teamed up was to make a big base where everyone can gear up. To my surprise, everyone was working together and we were progressing fast. But I knew the base would not survive for long due to the fact that the person might be one of the server members. So I went on a mission to gear up the entire server by myself. This was a challenging task, and you might think, how could one person gear up the entire server by himself? Well, I always have a trick up my sleeve. I had been preparing for moments like this. I had found a glitch so crazy that I might even be able to obtain up on the server. To make matters worse for me, the person was making his moves fast, so I had less than a day to complete my goal. First, I had to obtain shulker boxes, but the end was closed, so there was no way of obtaining them except if I managed to obtain op, which was an even harder task. But I could not let the server down at any cost, so I got to work. There are many different methods to do it, and one of them required me to lag out the entire server. So I decided to make a lag machine, and when it hit midnight, I had to use it to have a chance for it to work. I activated it before midnight by spamming a specific command. While it was lagging, I barely managed to obtain op. Now that I've obtained op, I made a shulker with maxed armor, tools and other necessary materials for the fight, and started to duplicate them. While I was progressing, my team notified me that the person had already trapped spawn with bedrock, and that he had posted multiple videos revealing his next steps. But there was a slight issue. He was using Morse code, so it was a pain to decode every single message or clue that he was sending us. But as I obtained my last shulker, the server announced the message that was not sent by the owner, but instead it was the mysterious person. So that meant the person had access to console and could see what each one of us had been doing. So I decided to continue duping when it hit 1 AM because I knew that no one plays this late besides me. And now I started to make illegal vaults, which contained bedrock, stack totems, armor and tools, which contain enchants of level 255 of anything. I was geared up, but I didn't want to reveal this armor to anyone yet. In the following day, I gave everyone a shulker with the necessary items for the fight. But before I got the base, I had entered the nether, and it was blown up. The explosion pattern was not a TNT pattern, but it reminded me of season 1 of Stats SMP explosion pattern. And the one responsible for that season's chaos was Viz. He blew up the entire server with his crazy mobs, but I had no proof of this person being Viz until later that day when everyone entered the voice chat. The owner announced that the end is open, so we can save the dragon egg, but little did the person know all of this was a trap, and who would have thought that he would react to this? And he did. Since it didn't show up that I had op, I saw him accessing creative mode, obtaining bedrock, killing everyone, and giving them all in-game achievement. But how did he have op? And how did the server owner not know anything about this? After I did a little bit of digging, I found out that he had access to op because one of the server plugins called Anti-X-Ray. It turns out he gave the owner a fake plugin to do all of this. To make it even worse, every time I de-op him, he gains op back by joining the server. I had solved this mystery, but hardest part was yet to come. I revealed this to Viz and I told him to fight me on Saturday. To which he obviously agreed, otherwise I would have exposed them to the entire server and his plan would fail. But now a new problem arose. I had to beat him. I knew that he would have maxed armor with some crazy pets on steroids that can one-shot a person with normal gear. Obviously we agreed on some rules and then it was time to duel. Who will win the fight on the server? If he wins, I step down and let him rule the server. But if I win, he ends his tyranny and the server becomes peaceful. It was done. I killed the person who was threatening to destroy the entire server, but I also realized this war caused enormous server damage, and as much as I wanted to help the server, everything I did made it even worse. In the end, I solved this mystery, but at what cost?